Hi, I'm Charcy. Some of you may know me as Sizzle Diva out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is the IM4GOD Movement podcast, where we allow people to tell their testimonies for all walks of life. Today, we have a special guest named James. He has a book called How to Love Each Other Better. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm James Vick. I'm from Fayetteville as well. Kind of been here all my life, born and raised. Pine Forest, graduated from Fayetteville State. Grew up in Tiffany Pines, so Fayetteville is home. And here to kind of talk about my book, my journey of why I wrote it, How to Love Each Other Better, and my other book, my newest book, Essence of Life, which is remastered, but it's books that's based on inspiration, love, to inspire you, to grow, and to kind of motivate people a little bit better in these trying and tough times.
So what makes your book stand out amongst the writers? What was different with your book?
I think it's real life experiences. Sometimes I write in third person. People share different things with me. Some of my own personal experiences as well. So I'm no expert, but I think the things that I wrote down, it kind of can, the way I present it can get you to think a little bit different, look at different perspectives. And then I try to write from a male's perspective, because I don't think a lot of times male have those platforms to talk about their feelings and those emotions and things that's going on with them. And you often hear people talking about they want good men, so it's kind of writing from that perspective and kind of sharing those thoughts, feelings, perspectives and stuff to kind of enlighten and hopefully to open up people a little bit more.
And where can they find your book at?
You definitely can get it on all platforms: Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Lulu.com. I can actually send you a direct copy if you like, autograph. So on all those are platforms they can get the book.
Do you have Facebook, Instagram, any of that?
Instagram,
can you
Facebook, James A. Vick on Facebook. On Instagram, it's 12_life if you're for Instagram and stuff like that.
Okay. And as far as you had a chance. Well, let me say this. I always ask this question to everybody. What was that first time that you realized God was real?
Through some of those hard, tough times, when you kind of was raised in. I was kind of raised coming from the South and everything. You kind of was raised in, but I think my own personal testimonies and stuff. When you kind of by yourself, and he kind of isolates you to get your attention, and started eliminating those distractions and stuff that I had, and I was able to reach out to him more. I had that foundation of praying and reading and stuff, but
what was that first time that when you realized God was real, without a shadow of a doubt? What was that?
Shadow of a doubt. So many. Could be a car accident, a divorce.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit.
Divorce. Raising your children, well, not my children, my child, going through that experience and stuff. So I think those are kind of ones that kind of stick out. And then, those moments you feel like you're alone, you by yourself, feel like nobody else have been through those things. And most of the time you don't want to talk to other people about what's going on with you. And so, I prayed, and when those moments I felt like I was about to lose my mind or something like that, he sent me signs, he spoke to me, he talked to me, he guided me, he continued to love me. So I felt it. I had examples, I had people that kind of would surround me and embrace me and stuff through some of those journeys. So that's when I kind of started, realizing more in some of those particular situations that, it wasn't a joke of the game. He's definitely real. How he showed himself to me and helped me through those tough times and situations, even if it could have been emotional, financial, and everything. Times were hard, but I never lacked for anything.
Okay. And as far as I know, you were saying as far as about drinking, what would you tell that person out there that has a drinking problem and they're tired, they want change? What would you tell that person?
You definitely have to become real with yourself. Definitely, talk to God, pray, work through it, go through the steps. Each person is different, but when you're tired, I think you.
What was your breaking point like, as far as tired?
I don't know. It was like so many, but I think it was a period like numbing myself, emotionally numbing myself. And I think isolating. I didn't want to talk. I was quiet and stuff. Or, a lot of times we walk around wearing a mask.
Right.
And so you wear that mask. So you smiling and laughing and you being present for everybody else and everything. But behind closed doors, you do these other things and so I think for me, I allowed, the drinking to kind of be like a friend to me. Like I was numbing myself. But even in those processes, I still use it as a distraction. Like I didn't want to communicate. I didn't want to talk. It could like prevent you from communicating properly. It could prevent you from allowing people in. It could prevent you from a lot of different things, even though I still went to work, worked out, worked several jobs and stuff like that. So I think when you get tired of waking up with the headaches, being sick, you lay in bed or lay whatever, and it's like, you crying, you tired or whatever, and you just call out his name and you start praying, you start talking, you start having those conversations and stuff like that. And, when your mind and your spirit is real heavy, you start having those conversations with him, and it's amazing, like something comes up off of you, something lifted off of you and stuff like that. And, like the tears just like kind of just dry up or whatever. And you start feeling better. You start thinking different. You start releasing things. You start having those conversations once you be real and honest with yourself and allow him in and stuff as that.
So would you say to that person that drink to like ask God to take that taste away?
Oh, I definitely have to do that. Absolutely. I think you have to do that. And for me, I think I was able to I went cold turkey with it a little bit, but then you have those moments where when you go through a tough time, you automatically go back with what's normalcy for you and stuff. So you start developing your own normalization of things. Like you can have fun without drinking. You can have fun without having, you can have conversations and communicate with people and stuff where you don't have to drink and everything. I think a lot of times we instantly think the only way we can have fun and communicate and all those different things is including alcohol, and that's not the case. So I think for me, I definitely asked God to take that taste away. And then it was amazing where I didn't have the taste for it no more. I didn't want to stop anymore and just waste my time going in the store and buying something. And so I think that helped me. And then you still grow more with your communication and praying and talking.
Yeah, I think that's the best part, when you can ask God to do something and literally he do exactly that. Like like you said, cold turkey. Like it blows your mind. Like, okay, I know what I just said, and I know I just feel. Right. And I only had the appetite that I had before. I know just recently, this is something I love to do. But now for you to actually really know, like, but I have no interest, like only he can do that. For far as, for that person, like I was saying, that's out there that's looking for their way out. I mean, like he said, just asking God with an open heart, just saying, help me. I don't want to, I don't have the appetite, don't want appetite, just take the taste away. That's just how, it starts. But even for them people, what's more, what would you call it more important, impressing or impacting people, and why?
I think impacting, you don't need to impress people. I mean, I think impact is deeper, it's meaningful, it's more motivating, it's more loving, and I think it's more authentic. And I think long term that's more impactful. Then I think when you can give those personal testimonies, when you're willing to share and be authentic, I think those are those real life experiences that can help people along the way and everything. I think impression is just for a show. I don't think that's real. I don't think that's authentic. I think that's kind of more so still wearing that mask and you're not really being honest. But I think you really, if we did more of that, us as a community of people would probably be in a better space and situation.
Definitely, because the mask stay on for a lot of them. Like they don't even know they don't even know their real self. They so fake. Listen, we ain't gonna get onto that. But at the same time, like I tell people all the time, everybody have a mask.
Absolutely.
It's just like when to put it on and when to take it off. But at the same time, being able to say I have a relationship with God, so to ask Him to guide me is totally different versus you guiding yourself, because we sinners, we born into it, Yeah, of course, every time. But it's just a blessing how He will pull you out of your mess. He'll allow you to go but so far, and He'll be like, okay, enough is enough already. You know what I'm saying? So, and just to know it's Him, that's like the best part of me. Like I if anybody got to check me, I love when He check me. I don't even mind it, When is that time that you can actually say that you might have didn't agree with something God did in your life?
Oh man, several times. I mean, it's, I think it's times where He showed me something that I wasn't supposed to have. And I could say, for example, maybe like relationships and stuff. And I kind of write about that stuff in my books and stuff. But I know that if I ask for something, He's going to give it to me because I'm hard-headed or whatever. And a lot of times as human beings, we want something, we know what we want, and you don't want to take no for an answer, even though it's not good for you. So you have to go through that trial and stuff on your own. And so me personally, He'll give it to me, and you're going to have to go through what you go through, and you're going to find yourself still calling out His name, needing His help, Him guiding you, still continuing to love you and show you, instead of just listening to Him at the beginning and being patient and obedience and having that discipline. I think that's kind of the biggest struggle, like for me personally, and then for a lot of others, is like, why not listen? Why not just call out? Why not do what you're supposed to do? Or because a lot of times He give us signs and stuff through that we can see for ourselves or through other people and stuff like that. And I think we still want to do what we want to do.
Right. Yeah, and it's the one thing about it, you got to be careful how you ask. We got to be
That's
specific. You know what I'm saying? You can sit there and say, I want this, I want that, but you didn't get specific. So when He give it to you, you be like, whoa, I didn't mean that. Like, but at the same time, you ask for it.
And you may not be ready for it.
No, definitely, yeah. And then He be showing you that too. Like, like you wanted it, but you wasn't really ready for it.
Right.
But at the same time, so there, to get back to one of the God questions, for that moment when you have a testimony you would like to share with the people. Because, this is all about, just sharing a testimony, letting people know that, regardless where we at in life, regardless where your relationship is with God, He still loves you the same way. He loves you more than anything. So for that, you have a testimony you like to share with the people? Inspire somebody out there with a situation you can remember that.
A specific situation, I think for me, just to share that, just be patient, being obedient, the journey is your personal journey. So you may engulf yourself in several different rock bottoms and stuff on your journey in life and everything. And so I think just keep pushing. I think you have to learn how to take your mask off. I think, for example, like we were saying about the mask, we wear a mask every day to work around certain people and everything. But I think it's going to be more impactful for you just to be real and be honest with yourself, because God already knows. And so I think you have to just come clean, have those conversations, and work on those things that are your vices, what's prohibiting you, what's prohibiting your growth, and then discipline yourself. And releasing certain things, whether it is Sometimes you might have to release family members. Sometimes you might have to release those friendships or social media or the things that we put the most emphasis on. You have to start releasing them on those journeys because a lot of times, God is trying to speak to us, but we can't hear those things, or we won't allow them in because of those many distractions that we have. So for people that's out there, I think you have to start working on that while you work on yourself. I think what helped me is definitely friends, family, but I think certain times I was in isolation periods, and a lot of praying, meditating, writing, journaling, reading. I have this thing that I do personally that helps me connect with God and talk to God, where I call them mental health walks. I go out and just walk 4 or 5 miles, and I pray and talk to God, and some of my thoughts, some of my fears, some of my insecurities, whatever the case may be, I'll have those conversations with him while I'm out there doing that, or on my one-on-one time and stuff like that. So I kind of released a lot of old stuff that didn't benefit me, and then added like the mental health walk or just having tea or something like that to develop some more clarity and kind of slow my mind down and be easy and not be so much in a fast pace and race, because you're not going to hear certain things when you're always busy and moving and shaking and stuff like that. Sometimes you just got to slow down. And like I keep saying, the distractions can be very heavy and stuff like that.
So what do you say about when those say that men don't have depression?
Oh, no, they're lying. I mean, they're definitely lying. I think we mask ours a lot differently. I think a lot of times it's fear. I mean, I think we grew up feeling like, or we was told that we couldn't share those emotions, or it's a sign of weakness, and most people attack you more when you got that type of stuff going on. I think a lot of times men, we mask it through our toys or whatever. I mean, if that's what you're into, or we may have some toxic vices or whatever that we utilize. It could be, I don't want to say playing video games is toxic and nothing like that, but I think we use stuff like that, or maybe working out or stuff like that, or the barbershops and stuff. But I don't think we may have those surface level conversations, but we won't have those deep feeling conversations. So my circle of brothers that I rock with and my family members and stuff, we kind of do like a check-in, like, man, you really good? Yeah. You all right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So for that man out there, a boy or a young boy, they're having depression, you would say, get somebody you can rely on, a good friend.
I think so. I think somebody that you can be authentic with. I feel like that's maybe harder because everybody's all about social media and everything, and more people are texting. Yeah. More people are texting and they don't have, real conversations. Right. But I think, I think we should all like kind of check in each other. I think that's very important. Because we don't talk, or we may feel embarrassed of sharing that, and then a lot of times we walk around with these personal insecure, and maybe me sharing that, I may already think that's a burden to you or whatever, or I may already in my mind, because we kind of came up in a culture where with men we like, I don't want to hear that's an excuse. I don't want to hear that. You work it out, bro. Make it happen. Do what you got to do. So a lot of times we can't share those real authentic things that's going on with each other. And so, and you can't always figure it out by yourself. And I think, the struggle for some people, which people have shared with me, I pray and pray, but sometimes God don't speak, talk back.
But he'll send somebody.
That's what I was just about to say. He'll send somebody.
So for that person out there, definitely ask God to send somebody, and he definitely will do that. You just got to be receptive
and be able to receive the person that he's sending, or somebody that's checking in on you and stuff like that. So he'll send people.
And 9 times it'd be a stranger. Yeah, when you ask God to send somebody, 9 times it's a stranger. Somebody you don't know, they don't know nothing about you. It's just the way they ask. Then,
it could be the simplest thing too. Like you could be having a bad day, feeling depressed, or you could have a moment where you may like think, I'm about to end this all. And somebody like, oh, you look real good today. You smell good, or you handsome, bro. or come work out or do something and it just comes out of nowhere. And that's all from God, because you may have had nothing, have nobody that was kind of not want to talk to you, wouldn't do anything. And then that moment when you're thinking about doing something, or you at your breaking point or your rock bottom, something will just happen. And that comes from
Oh, definitely.
God.
Yes. We definitely have to bring you back sometime. I have to talk with you, but y'all make sure y'all get y'all book. It is a really good book. I enjoyed myself when I read the book. And once again, can you give them again information how to get the books again?
Yes, James A. Vick. Both of the books is How to Love Each Other Better and Essence of Life. You can get them on all platforms: Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Lulu.com. You can look for me on Facebook at James A. Vick, and also on Instagram at 12_life. And we're going to keep moving and doing more great things with writing and inspiring people.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank
Thank y'all again. And make sure y'all check out the rest of them, because you just never know who we may have on here. But anybody out there, I want to tell you I love you. And God love you more. And don't forget to check out that podcast. Podcast plus IM4GOD.com. Thank you again. See you next time.